Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to this post-commentary episode of the Grimsby Town Road to Glory career mode with myself, Tibbin27. Now, for speed, as to get through this first series of Grimsby, we really need to push on. So I've got 6 games for you here today in this episode. Unfortunately, not me commenting as we go along and stuff, which is a shame because that's what I like to do, and I think I actually play better when I do that. But for this one-off, we're going to have a post-commentary. Of course, last time we left Grimsby top of the table, as you can see, 33 points, 2 clear of Plymouth and Mansfield. We went out of the FA Cup, which was a disappointment, but we did very well in the league to get ourselves to the top. And for the first game, it's going to be Luton Town. There is the team that we took into this one, rocking that usual 4-3-2-1, 4-5-1 attack, whatever you want to call it, with Bogue at the top, Asaro just behind, and Comley. But yes, it was Luton Town away for the first one. Not an easy place to go. A team that were hotly tipped in real life to do well. They're not doing too well in this game. I think they were mid-table when we faced them, and we got things underway away at Luton Town. And the first chance of the game was for us after just 24 minutes. Bogle's shot, though, deflected away. It was a difficult game in the rain. We had trouble to really get going in this one. As you can see, 37 minutes in was the next chance of the game. It was a lovely ball from McAllister into Ashley Chambers, but his shot just a bit too close to the keeper, who plucked it out of the air. And that was about it, really, for the first half. Danny Hilton there with a shot just going wide of the post just before that half-time whistle went. But that was about Luton. All Luton did really in that first half. Into the second half, and early on in it, we came forward again. McAllister working it into Brandon Comley, and his shot was pushed away well by the goalkeeper, who had a pretty good display for them. And from the corner, the ball whipped in, but easily cleared by the home side. And from that clearance, Danny Collins, our Welsh defender, was just dwelling and caught on the ball too easily. Amari Bell tried to come across to cover, but he was hopeless, and Danny Hilton was able to give the home side the lead from that corner. A really embarrassing moment for me and for the club as a whole to concede from our own corner. We've defended pretty well this season, conceded the least goals, but this was a moment of real poor defending from us to give them the lead in this one. But just 2 minutes later, we would restore the scoreline to all square, thanks to Brandon Comley. It was a really well-worked move just after kicking off again, having gone a goal down. And it was nicely worked between Bogle and Asaro. It looked like Asaro was going to get the shot off and score for us. He was pushed down. I thought it was a penalty, but they didn't give it. They played on, and Comley was able to dispatch it nicely into the bottom corner. And Gary Burrow was more than happy to see us take the lead. But Luton Town was still playing very well, coming forward, looking dangerous. Danny Hilton and Craig McAlsmith were a good lineup, but McAlsmith there got his shot horribly wrong. It was a great chance to give them the lead. Really nice play between Luton here. But, I mean, that is just awful. They should have gone 2-1 up at that point. But they kept coming at us, and we were really struggling, and Ted Smith had to make a really good save there to keep us at 1-1. But that was about it, to be honest. We didn't really create too much more. It's disappointing, but we did well to get the point away at Luton. They did play well, and I think the draw was in the end a fair reflection. The man of the match for this one went to Brandon Comley, the goal scorer. We gave second place to the man of the match that FIFA gave it to, Omar Bogle, and first spot went to Ted Smith, who was very good in goal. Obviously had to make that good save, and did well, and basically earned us that point away at Luton. I felt he deserved that third spot. And that draw knocked us off of top spot, with Plymouth Argyle going above us for the time being. And we changed to a 4-4-2. We had a midweek game against Crewe as our next game. There was quite a few changes to the team. Andrew coming in, Gowling. Yeah, quite a few changes after that draw. But we decided to sim this one. Crewe weren't doing too well in the league, so I thought we're okay to sim this. It's a home game, and that we'd be okay to pick up the 3 points against this former League One side. We went 1-0 down them after just 8 minutes, Holland scoring for them, but we skipped through, and Ben Davis and Dominic Vos, surprisingly, were the scorers, which gave us a 2-1 win at home against them. And when we went to check out for man of the match, the man of the match for this one went to Matt Cooler with a 7.9 rating. He got an assist in the game, so we gave 2 points towards player of the season to him. And the other one we gave to Dominic Vos. He's not normally a player that features in the series. He has been injured for a while, but he got the goal in that one, so I gave 1 point to him. So 2 points to Matt Cooler and 1 for Dominic Vos towards those player of the season awards at the end of the season. And that win in the simmed game took us back top again. We leapfrogged Plymouth, who could only draw. And, it went 2 points clear again and 6 clear of Mansfield, who had started to slip up. And that would be the next team that we faced away from home again against the Stags. We would revert to our 4-5-1 attack formation with the likes of Bogle and Asaro, etc., coming back into the lineup. Gowling keeping his place ahead of Collins, though, which Danny Collins wasn't too happy about, but he did make the mistake for the goal, so I felt it was right to leave him out. But this was not going to be an easy game away at Mansfield. Again, weather conditions not great, raining again. Wherever we seem to go, it seems to rain. And this one against 4th place Mansfield was always going to be a really tough test for us. But after just 2 minutes, we managed to get forward on the attack. We sort of wanted to take our time a bit. I felt like we rushed things a bit in that Luton Town game, so we did that. Omar Bogle getting forward here. Chambers found him with the pass, and he had so much space to turn, shoot, and fire us in to a early lead in this one. He's really started to show us why he is Grimsby's main man in real life. And this goal was very nice indeed, finding space in the box and firing it into that bottom corner to give us the lead after just 3 minutes against 4th placed Mansfield. Gary Borrowdale more than happy there in his big black winter coat. And just confirmation, Omar Bogle, who is his 6th goal of the season in League 2. But Mansfield did respond, and 26 minutes in they came forward on their first real dangerous attack in the game. Dean Henderson was a real menace for them up front throughout the game, and this was the first shot he fired at Ted Smith's goal. Just 5 minutes later, and again they were piling forward, and again Dean Henderson, unlucky not to get his name on the score sheet here, at the near post, rose, well, unopposed for the header, but into the side netting it went. Approaching half-time, and still it was Mansfield that were keeping most of the ball and doing most of the attacking. This time the shot was straight at Ted Smith, and he was able to palm it away without too many troubles. And that was about it for the first half. Nothing really for us going forward other than the goal. And Mansfield would have felt unhappy to be trailing at the break. Midway through that second half, though, we decided to change things up. It was still mainly Mansfield that were attacking, so we changed to our 4-1-4-1 that we've used a few times throughout the series. And we brought Joel Asaro off and brought the experienced Craig Disley on in midfield, just to shore things up a bit and give us a bit more protection. But it didn't work that way, really. Mansfield, they just kept coming forward and kept creating chances like this where they were trying to find that difficult pass and really split us apart. But as you can see on this occasion with 10 minutes to go, it just went a bit too far. But they didn't give up, Mansfield. There's a reason they're fourth in the table. They kept coming, and Matt Green's shot here was heading into the top corner, as we will see from the replay. A real good player for them in real life, and he was proving it in this game as well. This one was definitely heading top corner, possibly no chance for Ted Smith until Gowling's big head got in the way. But Mansfield didn't give up again. Matt Green on the ball, working it into Hoban, who was fouled by Amari Bell. Didn't have a great game, had troubles with their winger throughout. And this gave them a free kick in the 93rd minute for Benning to have a go at. Unfortunately, though, he couldn't do anything with it. It went straight into the wall. We were able to clear. And that was that at Mansfield. It was a massive 3 points. We didn't play well at all, but we managed to pick up 3 points against a very good side, which was wonderful. The man of the match in this one went to Ashley Chambers, who was terrific throughout. Obviously found the pass to Bogle for the goal. Second spot went to our captain, Ben Davis. Again, had a very good game throughout. And third spot, the point we gave to Omar Bogle. And as you can see, we only had the one shot throughout the whole game. It was on target and it went in, and that's what matters. And that win, again, kept us at the top of the table. 40 points we moved on to, and Portsmouth moved past Plymouth into second place to close the gap. And they also won a game in hand that they had. Just saw that briefly there to move on to 39 points. So they'd played 20 and we'd played 19. We stuck with the same team. I don't think there were any changes that I can see. We stuck with the same team as we travelled away to Cambridge. Yet another away game. I feel as though all we do is play away games. This time in a rather misty Cambridge. And they were another good side that we went away to. They were 8th when we came here to face them just on the edge of those playoffs. But it was Grimsby that created the first chance with Joel Asaro just running and running down the wing, and the simplest pass into Mats Coulthert, who, with the outside of the foot, poked it into the top corner after just 9 minutes. An absolutely amazing start away at Cambridge. Lovely finish into the top corner. I mean, Bogle was there as well, but he got out of the way really well to make sure that he wasn't interfering with play and that Mats Coulthert's goal would stand. And that was the Germans' second goal of the season, I believe, for the club. The domination continued, though, for Grimsby. We were playing really well. Asaro found Chambers down the wing, and his cross into Bogle, brilliantly saved by Norris in the Cambridge goal. When this cross came in and I saw Bogle was going to meet it, I thought this is definitely going to be a goal. But the keeper did very well to tip it away. Perhaps if it gone into a corner, then we would have been okay. Cambridge did try and respond, though, 38 minutes in. Ikpeatsu, the top scorer in the league, by the way, getting onto the edge of our box but firing wide off the target. Approaching half-time, Grimsby were back on the offensive again with Joel Asaro. His shot was tipped away again by Norris, but this time Brandon Comley was on hand to turn home the rebound and give Grimsby a 2-0 lead, and he just wanted to remind the cameras and the fans exactly who he was by showing off the back of his shirt. And that was it for the first half. A 2-0 lead at Cambridge was a terrific 45 minutes from us. The fans were very happy with it. But they tried to come back early in the second half. Barry Core, former Southend man, pulling a good save out of another former Southend man in Ted Smith. He hadn't really featured in the game until then, but it was going into the bottom corner and Ted Smith did well to save it. Cambridge, though, made some sloppy errors, and here the pass back into their defender went wrong. Bogle intercepted it, and Joel Asaro went through and scored the easiest of third goals. For some reason, he tried to punch the defender in the private parts. Not really sure what he was doing there, but Joel Asaro was obviously very happy and was just celebrating. He obviously didn't mean anything by it, but Joel Asaro notching the goal here to make it 3-0 to Grimsby Town. And it had been a very impressive performance up until this point. And that third goal from the Sunderland loanee was just putting icing on the top of that cake. But we didn't stop there. We did not stop there. Grimsby kept coming forward, and this lovely bit of link-up play between Bogle and Comley saw Comley rocket it into the bottom corner to make it 4-0 to Grimsby Town with only 63 minutes on the clock. This was just the complete display of excellent defending and excellent attacking from us. And Bogle, this time, turning provider for Comley to notch his second of the game. Cambridge didn't give up, though, and Ikpeatsu again came close to scoring. His header cleared off the line by Ben Davis as they searched for a consolation goal there. But then with just 3 minutes to go, Sean Tooton had come on, and he set through Bogle, who had been superb throughout. And he finally got his goal after obviously pulling out a good save from Norris early in the game. He'd been a part of everything that we'd done well, and he fully deserved that goal. Sean Tooton with an absolutely beautiful pass here to get it past the defender. And Bogle calmly slotted it into the bottom corner to make it 5 of the best for Grimsby Town. Our biggest win of the season, and an absolutely brilliant performance. A late strike there, I think, by McAllister as we look for the 6th, but that was it. Cambridge were absolutely slaughtered on their own patch. The playoff hopefuls had no chance against the league leaders, and it was a terrific win on the road. Man of the match for this one obviously had to go to Bogle. He got a perfect 10 out of 10 for his performance, so he picked up man of the match. Second spot went to the man that got 2 goals in this one, and that was Brandon Comley. And third spot on the single point went to Joel Asaro, our Sunderland loanee, who of course also got on the score sheet himself. And that win kept us at the top of the table, a point clear of Portsmouth, but with a game in hand on them. And obviously Plymouth also keeping up the pace there on 39 points. But a bit of gap developing with Hartlepool now in 4th. Mansfield, of course, has slipped completely out of the playoffs. And then we moved on into the 5th game of this episode, which was against Carlisle. And again, another playoff team. Some really tough teams that we have faced during this period. But we were doing very well. And I was confident that we were going to go and do well again against Carlisle United in this one. We stuck with pretty much the same team for this home game. And of course our home form at Blundell Park has significantly improved since the opening few days where we couldn't, opening few weeks where we couldn't seem to win at home. But the visit to Carlisle proved something different. They had not lost away as they came to us, a terrific record to have halfway through the season. And I realised this was going to be a tougher test than perhaps I thought it would be against the Cumbrian side. But after just 4 minutes, the first chance of the game came. Again, another mistake from the defenders, and Bogle so nearly capitalised on it with that first-time shot, which hit the side netting. Gary Borrowdale looked a little bit angry, but it was a good strike from Bogle as he nearly caught them off guard. Carlisle, though, came forward as we approached half-time. It was laid off here for Jones, but his strike well over the bar in the end. But Grimsby Town, as the half-time whistle was about to blow, nearly got one themselves. Bogle couldn't quite get on the end of that. We kept it alive, and Ashley Chambers was just sniffed out there at the last minute as he was about to pull the trigger. Into the second half, though, and Carlisle came forward, dragged a shot wide there. Both sides were having chances, and it was Grimsby this time that came forward. Cooler finding it down the wing and into Bogle, but his strike tame and easily saved by Matt Gillespie in the Carlisle goal. And then coming the other way again, it was Carlisle attacking. Miller here managing to get through and finding another Miller, and his shot just inches wide of that post as Carlisle searched for the opener. And very late on in the game, 92nd minute, Craig Disley, the substitute, came forward, pulled a great save out of the keeper, and the rebound just didn't quite fall for him, which is a real shame. I thought we were going to nick the 3 points at the end, but that would be it. Gillespie's kick up would be the final piece of action in this one. A 0-0 draw against Carlisle. Not a bad result considering they haven't lost a single game this season. And the man of the match for this 0-0 home draw went to Ben Davis, our captain, who was superb again to help us get that clean sheet. Second spot went to Sean McAllister, who picked up 2 points, and Dan Jones would just pick up the 1 point in third spot. And that draw actually knocked us off at the top. Of course, we still do have that game in hand, but Portsmouth's win was enough to get them up to the top of the table and a point clear of us. Before we go into the last game, I had some youth reports come back in. We got rid of a player there, I didn't even see who it was. Mason Cox, was it? I'm not sure. But yeah, rejecting a few of the people that the English scout had offered to us. There wasn't a great selection up there. Liam Watson, again, another one that wasn't as good. But we like the look of Charlie Watson, 93 potential for this 6'2", 16-year-old. And after some deliberation, I did decide to sign him up, and also decided to keep on scouting Mason Cox. Weren't sure about him at the moment. The scout report from Ilias Korniakis, who's in Italy. We rejected whoever that was. We rejected Greco. And then David Marino or Mariano, whatever, wasn't good enough as well. So we rejected him and kept scouting the final player left. Just another quick look at the table. As I said, trailing Portsmouth by a point, but with a game in hand. And for the final game of this episode, there were changes to be made again as we were approaching the Christmas fixture list. And this one was, fittingly enough, in the snow as we approach the end of December, away at the oldest English club in Notts County. Of course, stuck down in League Two at the moment. And they weren't doing too well in the league, sort of mid-table side, and we came to them looking to get another 3 points and overhaul Portsmouth at the top of the table. And we had the first chance after just 13 minutes. Omar Bogle turning in the box, but pulling a good save out of Colin, who had proved to be an important player in this one. The chip ball here into Bogle. Colin came out brilliantly to punch away, and Comley struck straight away, but again, Colin was in the way of that strike. Bogle was unlucky not to get onto that chip ball from him, but the punch away fell straight to Brandon Comley. But his first time shot was straight at the keeper, and he was able to push it away. Notts County, though, were still a threat in this one and came forward here with some nice interchange of play. In the end, the shot from Donaldson was straight at Ted Smith and an easy gather. Here again, approaching half-time, Brandon Comley just inches away from giving Grimsby the lead. That one just going over the bar. A lovely ball into him from Stefano Bruno. Got some more action, our young Youth Academy product. And then on the stroke of half-time, Omar Bogle's shot was blocked, and then Sean McAllister was maliciously hacked down in the box by the Notts County defender to give us, I think, our first penalty of the series. I'm pretty sure it is. As you can see, he got the first tackle in well. This one, he does get the ball, but it's a nasty challenge on McAllister, and enough for the referee to want to point to the spot. Ben Davis, our captain, in the end I chose him to be the man to step up and score for Grimsby Town. But no, it was saved, and the rebound was saved, and somehow Notts County survived here. Bruno won it back. He tried to look back into the box, but again they got it away. That was it for the first half. We had missed a glorious opportunity to take the lead with Ben Davis. Into the second half, yet again the keeper was keeping us out. Again, I think that was Brandon Comley that Colin saved from. And then Notts County pulled a brilliant save out of Ted Smith. John Stead's header there, pulling the best out of the youngster. This ball into Stefano Bruno came forward. His shot again, saved from Colin. We tried to keep it alive, but again Notts County managed to get it clear. And that was it. A 0-0 draw against Notts County. A real disappointment in this one. The points for this one went to McAllister. He got first, Bruno second, and Matt's caller first. That is going to be it for this post-commentary episode. It's been a bit of a rush. I hope you've enjoyed it, though. Please do subscribe to the channel, like the video, watch previous episodes, etc. Thank you for all the support that I am getting on this series. And be sure to tune in next time. But for now, it's Tibin27 out.